length drastically.
天使創造リブート
Interesting. I was not expecting that reaction from Chibi Amane during the transition. I thought she'd be more embarrassed about wearing the Viz outfit. I wake up in my room. I guess she's... I don't know, she pulled a Ryuko and has embraced the lewdness. And I stay there, staring up at the ceiling. I didn't sleep badly, and I feel relatively fine. But for some reason, I don't feel like getting up. All because of the dream I saw. Flashback from my previous life. I thought it wouldn't happen since we were sleeping in separate rooms, but I still saw it. And I learned of Diablo's true intentions. Maybe that's why I woke up feeling so unusually clear of mind. The shock of what I learned was just too great. The last Diablo. The question I always had was, why was the Diablo who wanted to end the war regarded as a villain, even after all these years had passed? Now I know. He took it all upon himself and made himself responsible for the war. And going off what Kaguya and Orie had told us, I think his plan succeeded. A little. His plan succeeded a bit. She switched with Viz, so maybe that was Viz's reaction. Yeah, I guess. Would it be better if I didn't tell Kaguya and Orie about this? I don't believe revealing this to them now would change anything in that world. I doubt that's what Diablo would want either. That's what I feel, at least. So what you're telling me is that Viz can communicate with Amane, but how come Diablo hasn't communicated with Riku? You know? He didn't want people to know what his intentions truly were. He strove so hard to ensure he had no regrets by the end of it. And the fact that he had no heir in the end was part of his plan to not let the war continue too. He didn't want to create any anchors for himself. Just like Lelouch. Never mind, I keep bringing up Kaguya, but like, it's the same situation. Except that one's a mecha anime and this one's even more supernatural than Kaguya. That's why he never married or had children. He actually forbade himself from ever doing those things. Wait. He forbade himself from having kids, so... Huh? Don't tell me. Is that the reason I can't get hard? Damn it. He figured it out himself this time instead of Noah telling him why he can't get hard. Because Deus Ex Machina. Yeah. Diablo refused to have children. Quite possibly from the moment I saw him in my flashback up until his final days. No, if I'm right about this, he kept rejecting the idea even after being reborn as me. I could tell. I can understand how Diablo felt and what he was thinking, but still. How could he push this onto me, dude? How could you push this onto me, dude? This ain't my problem. Of course, I'm not 100% confident about this. Maybe misinterpreting what he said, but, you know, there's a way around the whole not being able to get it up thing, you know? You were able to get it up in Noah's route after you started dating her, but, you know... But I feel like I'm right. There's a strange sense of conviction I feel. It's like I understand Diablo better than ever. I can't believe that's why. It's hard to be mad about it knowing the circumstances. He was deathly serious about it. And he didn't want to have any children. I look down between my legs and as a sad sigh escapes my mouth. Well, good thing Amane won't be walking in while you're doing this. I miss my morning wood. It's still really demoralizing that my dick is unusable, but knowing the reason makes me feel a little better. And now I can sympathize with him a little. No, wait. The erection thing is fine and all, but I think I may have a more important matter to consider. No, nothing happened last night between you and Amane, alright? Nothing happened. Amane, what do I do? I'm worried about her. How will she react today? Do I just act normal? I believe I have to wait to see her make the first move. I have to wait to see her make the first move before saying anything. And being stuck in my room won't get me anywhere. I should go down and see what's up. I also want to check if Amane had the same dream. And we should let Noah know as well about the masturbation thing or just the dream. Hey.
おはよう、リク。
It's past the time when our parents leave for work. So I found Noah alone downstairs.
珍しいね。
No, Noah, nothing happened, alright? There's definitely no reason why Amane and Riku are sleeping in separate rooms. What is it?
今日はアマネの方が起きるのが早かったから。
Ah, okay, that's weird. But, you know, Amane's not the one who woke up. It was Viz, so it's not as weird. Hearing Amane's name makes my heart skip a beat. Amane woke up early. Almost as if in response, I hear the clinking of a glass in the kitchen.
おはよう、おに。
Interesting.
何？どうかした？
No, I... just a little surprised to see you down here so early.
そう？そうは言っても、私もついさっき降りてきたところだよ。
Yeah, usually you'd be a lot more groggy when you wake up first thing in the morning.
おにもお茶飲む？
Yeah, sure. He looks normal. Yeah, that's my reaction.
どういう意味？
Except, I'm more surprised because, you know, I saw what happened in Amani's room. It's nothing. She's usually a lot more groggy this early in the morning. That's what I'm saying. That's what I literally just said that.
そう？いつもこんな感じだと思うけど。
Yeah, no way. You always wake up moaning like a zombie for at least half an hour. Yeah, at least moan like a vampire like you used to be.
まあ、こんな日もあるでしょう。はい、お茶。
But don't moan like a little sister, alright? That was only for last night. Thanks. I take the glass from her hand. It doesn't seem like she's still bothered by what happened last night. Wasn't moaning like a zombie last night. No, she was moaning like a little sister. If that's what she wants, I guess I don't mind either.
それで、夢の方はどうだった？
Oh yeah, I had another one. How about you, Amane?
見たよ。アリオンが全てを自分の責任にするってやつ。
Oh, I guess we saw the same dream again. It was about Diablo's real objective, and how Viz took on that burden with him.
そういうことなんだろうね。魔王の真意？
I can't believe he would sacrifice himself to end the war that way. It's honestly kind of a sad story. Yeah, at least in Code Geass, Lelouch probably didn't die. I keep fucking... That's my honest opinion about the whole thing. But Amane...
どうなんだろうね。他に解決方法がなかったのは寂しいと思うけど。でも、アリオンの願いは叶ったわけでしょ？今どれくらい平和なのかはわからないけど。だったら喜ぶことはあっても、悲しむようなことはないんじゃない？あのアリオンなら。
Yeah, I guess. Everything seems to indicate that Diablo's plan went perfectly, and he could die satisfied about ending the war.
お兄の気持ちを否定したいわけじゃなくて、当人たちは満足してるのに、周りが勝手に落ち込むのは損って話ね。
Yeah, that makes sense. If we're being brutally honest, this doesn't really have much to do with us anyway. It's a whole other world we're talking about. No matter how we feel about it, there's not much we can even do.
ちょっと待ってくれ。何の話をしてるんだ？ 魔王の真意とは、一体。
You don't need to worry about it. Sorry.
ねえ、ちゃんと報告はするけど、先に朝ごはんにしてもいい？お腹空いちゃった。うん。そうだね。慌てる理由はないね。
Okay, sorry, but let's take care of breakfast first. I'm pretty hungry too.
ごはんごはん。
Amana's just her usual self. You sure about that? So, rather than ignoring it, she's just acting like it never happened. Well, Viz didn't experience the embarrassment of walking back into her brother's room and realizing that he was awake the entire time. So, you know, you can see why. She even looks more upbeat than usual. Maybe it's just her fixing her sleep schedule a little. She usually is up pretty late. Yeah, but even when...
その記憶に間違いはないんだよね。
That's the thing, right? Even when she went to sleep early, she was still groggy as fuck when she woke up. So, like, that's not an excuse. That's not an explanation.
ただ少々意外だったから。
That's not an explanation, right?
間違いないよ。アリオンは争いを止めるために自分の命すら利用した。まさか魔王がそんなことを考えていたとは。
Noah, are you okay?
え？ああ、うん。大丈夫だ。驚いただけだからね。それよりも、天音が前世と同調してしまうところに関しては、どうかな？同調に関しては、わかんないけど、今朝は前世帰りしなかったし、記憶の方も一段落ついたような感じだし、一旦は落ち着くんじゃないかな。
Ah, I see. Maybe you're right. All of the dreams we saw so far weren't directly connected. It's possible we haven't seen the whole story.
慌てて対策が必要ってことはないと思うよ。今のところは。そうか。わかった。とりあえず今日もゆっくり過ごすってことでいい？お兄ちゃん。
Huh? You know, I will say this. I should have realized that them talking about your name was foreshadowing for what was going to happen, but like I didn't realize it was foreshadowing because I didn't know this could happen. I didn't know Viz could actually swap bodies with fucking Amane.
Huh?
I mean, technically they can't swap bodies because Viz is dead. So, you know, she's just... Amane is just a consciousness now. And Viz is now controlling the Amane meat suit. Never mind. She looked straight into my eyes. No, sure, I don't mind. I was planning to just watch movies all day anyway.
そっか。なら今日も一緒に見る。
I don't like this. It is such a... What's the word? It's a creepy feeling, you know? It's like... Well, me as the audience member knows what happened, but like from Riku's perspective, this is a weird. This is weird, Amane. Like she looks the same, she sounds the same, but there's just a few little things that don't add up.
何？ダメなの？
It's like a skinwalker, right? But this isn't horror, so, you know, Amane's not going to turn into a fucking monster. She's already... Never mind. But, you know, it's the same feeling of like, this is not Amane. Even if Viz and Amane are meant to technically be the same person, you can obviously see there are differences in the personality and the characteristics of both of them. They're still two different people. I never said that. He's noticing the differences between... noticing the differences because he realizes that he actually watches his sister closer than he thinks. Yeah.
ノアちゃんはどうする？僕はいい。遠慮しておくよ。考えたいことがあるから。
I mean, like, isn't the fact that he wasn't completely disgusted by what Amane did last night a giveaway that he, you know, might have some feelings towards his sister? You sure you're okay?
君たちに関わることじゃない。あくまで僕の問題だ。頭の中を整理したい。
And then there's the whole Noah thing of her feeling guilty about the fact that she killed Diablo, and, you know, after finding out that he wasn't the big evil that she thought he was. It's just, it's an uncomfortable feeling. And I don't know if the writers were going that way, but if they were, I really like this route. Alright. Noah leaves the living room and goes to her room.
ノアちゃん、どうしたんだろう。
She must have a lot on her mind. I don't think it'd be good to try and stick our noses in her business, if that's not what she wants. Fucking Christ. I don't think she'd hide something if it concerns us now. And I'm sure she'll sort out whatever is on her mind. Well, she can't confide in Riku in this route, so it'll probably take her a bit longer to sort things out in her mind.
まあ、そうだね。今は様子を見ようか。となると、お兄は今日何を見るつもりなの？
I did know I was at last, so I was left wondering why she was so invested in knowing what really happened. It made it so I couldn't wait to see her route. True. That is the thing, right? Now that you know, right, starting Noah's route first and going to Amane's route, you know why Noah's reacting like this. Doing Amane's route first makes you recontextualize everything she says in Amane's route after you finish Noah's route. It's the same thing as Sakuya, I mean, from Amazing Grace. When you find out, spoilers for Amazing Grace, but I already played through the entire game. You find out at the end of the game that Sakuya can also go back in time. And so everything, and so the way Sakuya acts every time, why am I blanking on the name? Every time the main character goes back in time and she's slightly different, right? It recontextualizes it recontextualizes all of Sakuya's actions throughout all of the routes. I think we could watch Howler. What? Is that referencing Howl's Moving Castle, or is it a different movie?
ホラーって結構怖いやつ？
Maybe. I haven't seen it, so I don't know how bad it is. I feel like it got a lot of buzz on the internet.
じゃあ私の部屋で見ようよ。怖いなら騒いじゃうかもしれないしさ。そしたらノアちゃんの邪魔になるかもだし。
Oh, well, yeah, let's go do that. Let's go with that.
さすがに真っ暗にはならないね。
It's sunny out, so we probably can't recreate the movie theater feel. Amane pulled the curtains back and turned the lights off. It's pretty dark, but the lights still peek through the curtains. Not much more we can do with a bedroom. Are you excited for the movie or what?
好きってほどではないけど、せっかく見るならちゃんと楽しみたいってだけ。 サイトはホムフリでいいの？
I feel like this is going to be the big giveaway, right? There are little hints that Amane is not really the same Amane as she was yesterday, but I feel like this is going to be the big giveaway where it's like, okay, Amane definitely doesn't act like this or whatever the fuck, right? Right? You know, maybe she's terrified of fucking she's scared to death about horror movies, and so her how she reacts while watching this movie will give away that this is not Amane. Yeah. Amane goes to the side on her computer and logs in. Oh, I should go downstairs and bring a chair.
別にベッドに座っていいよ。モニタの位置なら移動させればいいし。
I mean, Amane definitely wouldn't suggest that, but you know, it's another hint to the it's another clue to the fact that Amane and Viz switched bodies. If you're cool with that. It isn't that big of a rearrangement to set up the screen. She just pulls the monitor and turns it around for us to watch from the bed.
じゃあ見よっか。
You're way too close.
だってホラーなんでしょ？怖いシーンとか泣いちゃうじゃん。
You don't have to watch it if you don't want to.
私じゃなくてお兄がだよ。お兄が怖くて泣いちゃわないようにくっついてあげてる妹の優しさがなんでわからないかな。
Uh-huh. Well, gee, thanks for doing that.
どういたしまして。お兄ちゃん？
Never mind. Let's watch. You see, he's slowly putting the pieces together. The movie begins in documentary-style fashion. An interview with a character trying to call attention to an obscure curse. It's just the beginning of the movie, but the lighting is moody, and there's a whole gloomy atmosphere going on. Still, there aren't any jump scares just yet. Maybe it's not even that kind of movie to begin with. I'm trying to think about what movie they're referencing. And the first thing that came to mind was the Blair Witch Project. Right, with him talking about the documentary style start. You see those flicks that try to startle you with cheap surprises, and those where the fear comes from an unsettling story. I prefer the latter at any rate. I'm sure most people do. As for the former, I really hate the jump scares coming back to my mind at night, or when I close my eyes and to use shampoo on my head, or when I'm trying to sleep. And still, I try my best not to jump out of bed when it happens. Bed decorum is important, and you should never get out of the safety of yours. The prologue is over and the story continues, and the movie is interesting as the internet reviews said. There's just one problem though. I can't focus on the movie at all. The warmth of Amane's arm clinging to mine, it takes all my attention. She's literally leaning into me, hugging my arm. I mean, it's a horror movie, and it's pretty damn scary. I can understand her wanting to be close to me and all. But she's not reacting at all. Like I said, this should be the dead giveaway. It doesn't seem like she's bored. It actually seems like she's really into the movie. She doesn't seem scared, however. But she keeps clinging onto my arm, not getting spooked and jerking on me at any point. It doesn't look like she even needs to hold on to me so much. We're never gonna get Amane's never gonna react like Noah from 9-9, you know? But she shows no signs of wanting to let go. The way she clings onto my arm and rubs it against my shoulder, it makes it look like she's acting spoiled rather than scared. I mean, yeah, she's using the excuse that she'll be scared of the horror movie to cling on to you because Viz never got to do this to Diablo. Right? Although I struggle to focus, the movie is really good. The girl is cursed and has her body possessed by a ghost. She tries to undo the curse, but things only deteriorate. The problem is, I haven't seen a lot of horror movies, right? I've seen a lot of shitty ones, but not the good ones. The movie's mood and script make my heart beat faster. It's scary, but I just need to know how it ends. And at the end, just as they make us think the curse has finally been defeated, they turn everything on its head with some elements foreshadowed at the start of the movie. All in all, it's a really damn good movie. Wait a minute. The girl is cursed and has her body possessed by a ghost. Now, here's the thing, right? The foreshadowing with your name flew over my head. But this one, like, what are you implying with this? Are you saying that Amane can't switch back to her body now that Viz has taken it over? That was really scary, huh? But it was really good. I see why people couldn't stop posting about it.
そうだよね。はあ、怖かった。こうしてお兄の腕を掴んでなかったら泣いてたかも。
She says, hugging my arm even tighter. Oh, please, you weren't scared at all. You totally would have at least shrieked or something if you absolutely had to hold on to me.
そこら辺は怖い以上に面白かったって感じかも。
I know, right? I couldn't wait to see how it ended after all that. It's definitely a new take on the horror genre. It's pretty obvious why it became so famous on the internet.
でも怖かったのも本当。怖い夢を見たらどうしよう。一人で眠れないかも。あまね、怖い。何かな、その呆れたような目は。
I told you not to mess with me if you can't deal with me getting annoyed.
はいはい、ごめんなさい。それで、この後どうする？このまま他の映画も続けてみる？
Oh, nah, let's take a break. The movie was good, but it was a bit scary. I want to get it out of my head before watching something else.
わかった。
Well, there's an easy way to get it out of your head by watching something else. You switch genres entirely. You go to the complete opposite end of the spectrum in terms of movie genres and watch a fucking comedy. Amane opens the curtains, letting the sunlight in. She looks calm and collected, like nothing like nothing's wrong. I thought she'd react in some way. I guess not. Am I overthinking things? Maybe I'm expecting too much. While I think to myself, I hear the bed creak a little as she sits next to me.
なんか元気ないね。ホラー映画で疲れた？
Not really, no.
無理しなくてもいいよ。しょうがない。特別にサービスして死んでよ。
Huh? She pulls me down onto the bed, laying my head against her lap. Okay, this is really sus. What are you up to?
別に。さっきも言った通り、ただのサービスだよ。妹の膝枕。嬉しかろ？
Why would I be?
素直じゃないな、うちのお兄ちゃんは。
At least Amane would throw in a few Zakos, you know?
なんだったら膝枕したまま次の映画を見る？雰囲気も合わせて、恋愛映画とか。お兄ってラブコメとか恋愛ものってよく見てたっけ？
Well, I don't mind them.
そうなんだ。ああ、だからか。
Let me guess. I don't watch enough romance stuff, so that's why I'm some virgin who's never had a girlfriend.
すっごい理解してる。さすが兄弟、以心伝心。
Yeah, I've seen romance movies. Ever heard of Her? Where the main character falls in love with his ChatGPT Scarlett Johansson AI companion? Yeah, That's the kind of romance movie I watch. What do you mean a normal romance between two humans? That's boring. Alright, I wanna... Never mind. I'd rather have my heart linked with a girl I liked, not with my sister.
お兄はさ、好きな子とかいないの？
What? We're doing this again?
私はいるよ。好きな人。
Yeah? I wonder who.
ねえお兄。私が好きなのはお兄ちゃんだよって言ったら、どうする？
Bro, this is so creepy. Stop. I hate it and love it at the same time, because Viz is just trying to live vicariously through Amane, right? Viz wants the romance with Riku that she never got with Diablo, because Diablo, you know, always rejected her feelings. But like, never mind. The only sound in the room is the whirring of the AC. Time seems to stop for a moment as I look up into her eyes.
何本気にしてるの？そんなに妹が可愛いの？お兄ってば、し、す、こ。
But that's not what she said. Instead, the Amane before me just quirks a mocking smile as she looks down on me. She stares into my eyes unflinchingly. I knew it. You're not Amane, are you? I push her away and get up. Who are you? Viz?
バレたか。よくわかったね。
I don't know who else it would be.
もしかして、さっきの映画、呪いで体を乗っ取るっていう内容だったのは、私の反応を伺ったってところかな。
I felt something was off. You've been a little too upbeat all morning. It's like you forgot all about what happened last night. And she didn't mind when I said it was a horror movie. If this was my actual sister, she'd say something like,
怖い映画で妹に抱きつかれたいんだ。やらしい。
But more importantly than that, what convinced me something was wrong was when you asked me that question about having a crush on me. Amane would never say something like that.
どうして？妹が兄を好きになったらキモいから？
My sister's a scaredy cat. She would never say something like that to my face. She'd just try to pass it off as a joke. She's not the type of person who speaks her mind honestly.
そっか。さすがお兄ちゃんだね。よくわかってる。
The next second, Amane is engulfed in light. And in the blink of an eye, she's clad in the outfit of Viz, her previous incarnation. So she has no intention of trying to deceive me now. But if she's taken over her body like this, does that mean what I think it does? My heart jumps as I assume the worst. Anger swells up in my chest like a burning flame. I feel my blood boil and the power flows through my veins. I then transmigrate into the form of my previous incarnation. But I don't have the time to worry about that. I keep staring down whatever has taken over Amane's body. What did you do to Amane?
懐かしいな、その姿。本当にアリオンだ。
Answer me. Where's Amane?
そんな怖い顔しないで。乗っ取ってるわけじゃないよ。
Oh, so the horror movie wasn't foreshadowing that you were taking over her body.
あの子が変わってくれたというか、私が変わってあげたというか。
You're sticking with the your name foreshadowing and not switching it up last second. What? You switched and you and her switched?
まあ、提案したのは私からなんだけど。やっと分かってくれた。辛いんでしょ？苦しいんでしょ？だったら、私が代わってあげようか？いいの？え？代わってくれるんだよね、私と。それは、まあ、うん。確かにそう言ったけど。だったら代わって！
I don't know, Viz, maybe you should have backtracked on your statement after you found out how impulsive Amane is.
なんでそんなに乗り気なのさ。私に体をよこせって言ってるようなものなのに。確かに、それは怖いけど、今はそれ以上に、お兄と顔を合わせる方が怖い。私に体を渡すことであなたは死んじゃうかもしれない。そうは思わないの？現在進行形で死んじゃいたい気分だし、マジで鬱になりそう。それに、魔王とウィズがどんな風に生きたか見ちゃったから、何かやり残したことがあるなら協力するのもやぶさかではないというか、それを言い訳にしてとりあえず目先の辛いことから逃げたいというか。そっか、そんなに嫌なんだ。わかった。だったらお言葉に甘えさせてもらおうかな。
So, like, if Viz isn't aware of what Amane did to make her act this way, does that mean Amane isn't aware of the conversation Viz and Riku are having at the moment?
あ、安心していいよ。そのまま体を乗っ取るなんてことはできないから。あくまで一時的に貸してもらうだけ。例えば、君の心の整理がつくまでの間とかね。
Okay, so Amane is still conscious, right? So she can see the conversation that Viz is having with Riku.
つくかな、心の整理。自信ないけど。そこはなんとかつけてもらわないと。吸血鬼ウィズはもう死んでる。私はただの残りカスみたいなものだから。いくら持ち主が譲ってくれたとしても、それを維持し続ける力はない。つまり、
Yeah, you're like a ghost possessing Amane's body. Is conscious? Okay, good.
お兄ちゃんからずっと逃げられるわけではないからね。
That doesn't change the fact that Viz still try to take advantage of how do I say this? It doesn't change the fact that Viz still tried to take advantage of the fact that she looks like Amane to trick Riku. Right? That's not the right way to say it. You get what I mean?
と、忠告はしておいたんだけどね。あの様子だとどうなることやら。ああ、一応言っておくけど、彼女に言ったことは本当。あくまでこれは一時的なことだよ。
Well, yeah, I doubt Ubisoft would make this any more serious than it has already been.
もし仮に体を返したくないって思ったところで、私には維持する力がない。
Well, you seem pretty lucid for a ghost to me.
そこら辺はアリオンの血のおかげかな。君、彼女に血を飲ませてたでしょ？
Is she talking about when I did that to help her go back to normal? No, actually. I also did it when we fought back against the guy from that other world.
アリオンのマナを摂取したおかげだよ。とはいえ、すぐにそれも尽きる。一時的っていうのはそういうこと。リク、アマネ、入るよ。 おかしなマナの気配を感じた。何かあったのか？
How do I explain this? Sorry, I just got a little excited.
興奮？一体何が？
No, no, not in that way. Well, it looks like Viz's consciousness has taken over Amane's.
そんなバカな！私たちに同情してくれたみたい。それで変わってくれたんだよ。私が残した悔い、やり残したことを少しでも解消できるようにね。
She keeps the explanation short, probably in consideration of Amane's feelings. Yeah, but like, did you consider Amane's feelings when you almost confessed to Riku? Well, I guess it's a nice gesture that she doesn't want to spread what happened last night between us. But still, you could have said that from the beginning.
そうしたら君は私を全くの他人として接するでしょ？それは嫌だったんだ。まるでアリオンに避けられてるみたいだからさ。
I know after watching their memories, Fizz loved Diablo. Even he realized this. That's why he told her about his plan before she could tell him about her feelings. Considering that, I could understand why she wouldn't want to feel like she's being avoided.
それで、やり残したこととは？協力できることなら、僕も協力をしよう。
You said there was something different about this stream earlier. Is it just longer? Yeah.
おう、それはもういいんだ。こうして体を借りることができて分かったから。
What do you mean?
私がやり残したことは過去のことなんだよ。
So how much longer? Good question.
アリオンがいて、スレイがいて、そんな中で私、吸血鬼ビズがやりたかったこと、でもできなかったこと、一緒に過ごして思った。君はアリオンじゃない。アリオンはもういない。
If it's going to be another hour, I'm hungry. Well, it's not like you were talking in the chat anyway. You were fucking talking to chatbots. So you could have just gone to eat dinner. Yeah, I was listening though. Okay, and how do I know that?
君と一緒に過ごしても、それはアリオンとやり直せるわけじゃない。これはこのまま私が抱えていくしかないものなんだよ。だからもういいんだ。おう、でも全くの無駄ってわけじゃないよ。おかげで少し思い出すことができたから。アリオンと二人で気楽にバカやってた頃のことを。ありがとう。今の私にはそれで十分。なら、アマネに体を返すと考えていいんだね。
Let's hope.
もちろん、嫌だと思っても、それを維持するような力、今の私にはないよ。とはいえ、せっかく彼女が与えてくれた機会だから、しばらくの間は、この世界の暮らしを楽しませてもらうくらいのことはさせてほしいかな。食事とか美味しいし。
Alright. Sorry, Noah. But can we humor her for now? I can't explain why very well, but I don't think she's lying about Amane's consenting to her being here.
ふむ。リクに心当たりがあるのなら、わかった。ありがとう。
After that, I went back to my room. Even if I tried to watch another movie, I wouldn't be able to focus at all. Right now, I'm only worried about Amane. Definitely can't explain why. I understand why she would want to run away from me. I feel the same if someone saw me doing that. I'd want to disappear. If I'd only saw part of it, I could have just kept quiet about it all. But our eyes totally met. Acting like nothing happened is kind of pointless. If that was all it took, Amane wouldn't have lent her body away like that. It's only natural she saw the chance to run away from having to face it and took it. So is it going to be another hour plus? Maybe. I haven't decided how long I'm going, how much longer, how much more longer I'm going to stream compared to how long I normally do. This whole situation actually feels kind of familiar. It's a lot like those memories from back when we were kids that we talked about. Mane would leave the house and I would go get her. I would drag her back home by the hand. That's the way it's been. That's the way it's been ever since we were kids. But we're not kids anymore. I can't just go and drag her back here. I mean, no. Shut up. Shut up.
バックログ画面だ。
Brother. Given the fact that she was calling out to me while doing it. I mean, given how frustrated she is about this anyway, it can only mean one thing. Be it an accident or a coincidence. I heard it all. So what should I say to her now? How do I respond? Oh, crap. Why do I have to be all stressed out about this too? She actually... Bro, where's the choice? I was expecting a choice. As I find myself lost as to what to do next, my phone rings. It's rare for people to call me. I wonder who it could be. I pick it up and see the name. Fumika. Hello? Hang on. This is Amane's route. Why are you here? Huh? What? Are you okay?
一生のお願いだから力を貸して。でないと私。天使創造リブート。
Let's hope that Riku is not in demon form. Diablo form. This summer heat is awful.
いい天気でよかったじゃないか。
Rain would suck, sure, but this is too much. I feel like I'm gonna melt under this heat. I wish I could spend the whole summer sitting in my cold room. Which reminded me that the only reason I'm going to school on a day like this is because of Fumika's urgent call.
りっくん、白雪さん。
This is actually a good scene with Fumika, I see.
ごめんね、呼び出したりして。本当に助かる。ありがとう。
Good morning, Fumika.
おはよう。今日はよろしくお願いします。もちろん。それで、具体的に何をするの？学院の見学会があるんだけど、その手伝いをしてほしいの。本当なら学生会から人手を出してもらうはずだったんだけど、何人か夏風邪でダウンしちゃって。
Of course they are. You want us to, show people around or explain things to them?
さすがに来客の応対は私たち教師や学生会の方でやる。全員が休んでるわけじゃないからね。それに見学会は明日。今日手伝ってほしいのは椅子を並べたり机を運んだりとか、そういう肉体労働。
Oh. Man job. So I'm gonna sweat a ton, huh?
ごめんってば。でもなんとかお願い。後でジュースおごるから。
You're lucky this is Amane's route because I would want something. I would want a lot more than just a drink. Well, I'm here, so I'll do it either way. You clearly need the help, so it's the least I can do.
ありがとう、りっくん。
I'll take the drink when I'm done, since you offered. A sports drink would be nice to rehydrate me.
そういう一言がなければ素直に感動できるんだけど。まあ感謝してるのは本当だから、ちゃんとご馳走させてもらいます。あ、白雪さんも何でも好きなものを言ってね。いや、僕は。いいから遠慮なんてしなくて。というか、迷惑かけてるって自覚はあるから、罪滅ぼしにせめておごらせてください。そう言われると、ならお言葉に甘えてオレンジジュースを。スポドリとオレンジジュース、了解。職員室の冷蔵庫でキンキンに冷やしておきますので、何卒よろしくお願いします。うん、任せてくれ。
What do we do first?
りっくんには個別相談のブースを作るための机と椅子を運んでほしいかな。白雪さんには参加者に配る資料作りを手伝ってほしい。わかった。
At Fumika's request, I carried desks, chairs, and also set up booths. Booth. It's nothing complicated, however. Just some simple private booths. Normally the kind of thing you'd expect the student council members to take care of. And suddenly, I understand the real reason I was called. I'd bet good money that the student council members who got sick were the guys. I see a lot of girls around. But none of them probably have the strength for the strenuous labor. And the AC isn't working here in the hot corridor. Of course it isn't. Also, like, why is Noah here? What is her job? So I'm forced to keep carrying desks and chairs. Normally I would complain, but a change of pace is just what I need today. I doubt I would have gotten anywhere just lying around in bed, wrecking my brains, or laying around on my bed. I heave a weary sigh, but it has nothing to do with the heat or the exhaustion. Marnie's body is still being used by Viz. Viz has kept her word so far. I wouldn't say she's well behaved, but she's just been enjoying ordinary life. こうして私が体を預かってる状態なら、マナもコントロールできるし、心配はしなくていいよ。ちゃんとおとなしくしてるから。Don't say it like that. She spends the day watching TV, eating sweets, or reading manga. It's just normal stuff any modern girl would do. She's doing the same things that Noah did. She's doing the same things that Noah did when she first came down. That's all fine and good, except it's really strange. She looks just like her, but I can tell there's something off about her. When I look at Viz, I can't help but notice just how different she is from Mane. I keep thinking about what Amane would say or do if she was here. And as I do, I realize just how important she's become for me. She's occupied my thoughts to that extent. The more I thought I might have lost her, I lost my mind to the point I transmigrated. I need to get this done. I work hard to carry these desks despite the heat and my sweating. This probably isn't something I can just run away from. I can keep my mind from worrying about Amane when I'm working. I guess I'm no better than her when it comes to running away. I just... 大きなため息。もしかして怒ってたりする? You sure that was one of my shorter sighs? Uh-huh. Oh no, it's not that. Even with you, I'd refuse from the start if I really didn't want to help. Also, thanks for asking. It kind of helped me in a sense. 助かった? どういうこと? さっきの盛大なため息と関係が
ないわけないか。よし、ちょっと休憩しようか。はい、これ約束のスポドリ。ちゃんと冷蔵庫でキンキンに冷やしておいたから。
Thanks, Fumika.
それで何があったの？さっきのため息、何か悩み事があるんでしょ？ここは担任教師として相談に乗るよ。どうかしたの？
Well,
なるほど。私にも言えないようなことか。ならば、ここは幼馴染である小里文香が相談に乗りましょう。大丈夫。どんな相談をされても絶対に口外はしない。なんせ今の私は教師じゃないからね。
I feel like I'm gonna get a lot of childhood friend Fumika in her route, so this is a small teaser. If you're not a teacher, should I call security for trespassing?
そういう上げ足取り可愛くないな。りっくんは相変わらず素直じゃない。
Sorry, you're right. I can't just deflect like this all the time.
まあ、りっくんも子供じゃないんだから、人には言えないような悩みもいろいろとあるだろうけどさ。隠したいなら隠したいで、正直に言ってくれればいいの。それでどうなの？相談する？それとも、やっぱり私には言えない？
Well, yeah. I don't think it's just you. It's something I feel like I can't tell anyone.
そっか。
But, would you mind listening to me for a little bit?
もちろん構わないけど、どっちの私をお望み？谷風くんの話を聞く原告教師、小里文香？りっくんの相談に乗る近所のお姉ちゃん、小里文香？
The childhood friend one. Childhood friend then.
ご指名ありがとうございます。小里文香です。はにゃ？
I'm expecting a cease and desist from Nintendo for that reference. What? That's like ancient by this point.
まさかはにゃも震いたなんて。何もそんなに冷静な反応をしなくても、打ち明けやすいように雰囲気を軽くしようとしただけだよ。
Bro, you're like a few years older than them. What do you... Stop acting like you're a fucking boomer. I think you might have made it harder.
そうなら、さっき言った通り、ここで聞いたことは言わない。もし仮にりっくんが何かしらの罪を犯していたとしても、近所のお姉ちゃん小里文香は決して通報しません。谷風陸の味方であることを誓います。適当に言っただけなんだけど、その反応って。
No, I didn't commit a crime or anything. Not yet, at least. What?
そうだよね。はあ、びっくりした。
Well, obviously I can't tell her about the stuff with Amane in detail, but I can't think of a good analogy to test the waters.
りっくん？
Do you know about the trolley problem?
一人を助けるか、5人を助けるかってやつ？りっくんまさか、とんでもないことに巻き込まれてたりする？
I think he's just bad at explaining analogies. Or using analogies. Don't worry, it's just an example.
ならいいんだけど。つまり、どっちを選んでも何かが犠牲になるって話？
Maybe, I guess. No, I wouldn't say that. It's not really a sacrifice. No matter what I choose, I feel like I'm going to feel a lot of guilt, I guess. What kind of analogy could he give without giving it away, though? I mean, true. I can't think of any analogy either. I don't see an outcome where I can avoid hurting Amane and return to her previous relationship. Return to our previous relationship.
具体的な内容にもよるとは思うんだけどね。谷風くん、後悔しない人生なんてないと思うの。裁量を選択したつもりでもやっぱり失敗することはあるものです。でも同時に得られるものもたくさんあると思う。だから選んだ先で何を得られるのか、それを考えてみればいいんじゃないかな。そして大事なのは選んだ道で頑張ること。たくさんのことを得て満足できるように努力を続ける。選ばなかった未来を想像しなくても済むようにね。
Right.
っていうのが原告教師小里文香としての意見。
What?
進路相談ではよくあるんだよ。どっちに進学するか、どこに就職するかみたいな話が。
Oh, okay. I guess it's hard to tell people that there's just no right choice in the end, especially for a teacher.
りっくんの場合はちょっと違うよね。近所のお姉ちゃんへの相談だし。
Yeah, he asked for potential love interest advice, not teacher advice.
いや、近所のお姉ちゃんへの相談にしてはやや重い気もするけど。罪の意識か。
Will he embrace the incest or break her heart by rejecting it?
時には開き直ることが重要なのかもしれないね。
Open up how?
何を選んでも罪の意識に苛まれる。でもその罪悪感にも差があるんだよね。悩んでるんだから。
Well, yeah, I think so.
ならりっくんにとって何が大切なのか、一番守りたいものは何かを考えてみて。それで大切なものを守るためには仕方なかったって開き直っちゃえ。
That sounds, rather impulsive, I think. I don't think a teacher should give advice like that.
今の私は近所のお姉ちゃんだもん。こんなこと私もりっくん以外には言えない。でもりっくんには言っておきたい。ちゃんと幸せになってほしいから。罪の意識を背負っちゃうとさ、こんな自分がって幸せを遠ざけちゃうこともあると思う。そんな真似だけはしてほしくないんだ。そんなことするくらいなら私はいっそ開き直ってほしい。自分を許して肯定してあげてほしい。でないと何を選んだところで不幸になっちゃうよ。そういうのはさ、周囲の人間にも辛いものなんだから。
I see. Yeah, you have a point.
近所のお姉ちゃん小里文香はりっくんの選択を許します。もし仮に何かしらの罪を犯すような行為だったとしても、りっくんの幸せにつながるのなら私はそれを肯定します。
Are you sure? If I end up in the newspapers for this, it'll be bad for you, right?
嫌な脅しだな。
If I end up in prison,
普段はおとなしい子で、まさかあの子がそんなことをするだなんて思ってもいませんでした。
what the fuck is going on here?
って返答しておけばなんとかならないかな。
I don't know. If is that something a home teacher should say? But you would still approve of my choice?
それが本当にりっくんの幸せにつながってるならね。
I see. Thanks, Fumika. I feel a little better after talking to you.
ならよかった。あ、ちなみにこれはここだけの話にしてね。こんなこと言ったのが主任に知られたら無責任にも程があるってお叱りを受ける。
Don't worry, Fumika. You do a lot worse with Riku in your route with him.
訓戒処分じゃ済まない可能性だって。想像しただけで胃が痛い。
They were trying to emulate those scenes where they hide the person's voice to avoid finding out who they were. Also, why they didn't show her face. Yeah. I know. I won't tell anyone. And I don't think whatever I do will make it to the newspapers anyway.
そうであることを祈るよ。
Well, that's if no one finds out. So let's hope that no one finds out. If a teacher really is a younger teacher and she has a childhood friend student, is that really bad? What do you mean? People can separate their professional life with their personal one, you know? But thanks. I'll bring you some really good stomach medicine to thank you for today.
それって私の胃にストレスを与える宣言？
Not just... No, just kidding. Or maybe not. I get the feeling your teaching job is already stressful enough. I'm just telling you to take care of yourself better.
そういう優しさならいいんだけど。とにかくそういうこと。
But like teacher and student, people are weird about that. What do you mean?
悩むなとは言わない。ただ自分を不幸に落とすようなことは避けてもらえるとお姉ちゃんは嬉しいよ。
Like, what's the morality there? If it was in real life, it's not like it's not like Fumika dated Riku when they were fucking younger. What do you... And then Fumika becomes an adult. What do you mean? I'll remember that. Thanks, One-chan. I wouldn't say it's bad, but I do feel they would probably put the student in another class so there's no favoritism. Well, yeah, it's the same as if your mum was the teacher. Or like, yeah, if your parent was a teacher, or you know...
お姉ちゃんって呼ばれるのはなんか新鮮だな。さてと、お姉ちゃんタイムは終了。
Would it be really bad for us law if they started dating? What? US law. Yeah, if they're in high school or younger, if Fumika was a university teacher, sure, she might get fired for dating Riku, but like she wouldn't go to jail for it.
先生としてそろそろ仕事に戻らないとね。
I need to finish moving things too.
よろしくお願いします。
I feel like her advice helped me see the path ahead of me. Like a faint light shining the way in the fog of indecision I was lost in. I'm really thankful to her. If they are like 4 to 5 years apart, something like that. It's not outlandish. No, it is. The reason why how would I explain this? Here's the thing, right? It's already weird enough if a senior dates a freshman, right? Especially if they keep dating after the senior graduates, right? The senior turns 18, the freshman's still, what, 16? Right? That's already weird enough. Now you're bringing in a teacher, regardless of how young she is, the youngest she can be is graduating 4 years after university, which means that there is a 4-year age gap. That's still very weird because she's still the adult. She's still an adult. What do you mean? at least in the senior and freshman example, the senior is still is still 17 when he starts dating the freshman, right? It's still weird, but you know, they're both underage. 18 and 23. Well, when it's 18 and 23, it's legal. I don't think you understand it. I don't think you understand this. Why do you think I use the example of if Fumika was in university? If Fumika was a university teacher, then she would get fired for being a teacher for dating her student, but she wouldn't be in jail. If she was a high school student and she dated her student, a high school teacher, and she dated her student, then she would be in a lot more trouble. She would get more than just fired. All right? Regardless of... Even after the high school student graduates, right? They're already 18. It's still weird if the teacher suddenly starts dating the student, right? The former student. It wouldn't be illegal, but you know, there's already a bunch of media around it. Even in doujins, the writers, the authors of doujins know how weird it is for a teacher to date a former student, right? I don't know what... I'm really thankful to her. What's important to me, what I want to protect. I don't really have a clear answer on that just yet. But I feel like I'm ready to face Amane again. I want to talk to her again. 90k, it's too complicated for me. What is there what? How is any... What? What complications are there? Interesting fact, you mentioned US law, but age of consent is determined by state. Other country, it's 17 in Texas. Yeah. The age of consent ranges between 16 to 18 in the US, between states. Which is why I'm just glad I don't really want a relationship to begin with. See? Confusing. Except, no, because the general rule of thumb there, right, regardless of the fact that the age of consent is less than what would be considered a legal adult, right, even in that example, a teacher wouldn't be able to date their student without getting arrested. Because those ages of consent, most of the time, unless you're thinking of like the Middle East, right, where it's 14 and you can date a 14-year-old and it's still legal. In the context of the US, when they say the age of consent is 17 or 18 or 16, it means that it's legal to date in that range of 16, 17. When it's an adult wanting to, you know, do the thing with a 16, 17-year-old, then they'll get jailed for it. Right? It's the same thing in Japan, right? Of like, the age of consent is 14, but you can't do anything with a 14-year-old if you're over the age of 18. Get what I mean? No, yeah, no, I don't understand that. I mean, my example isn't concrete, right? I don't know the exact law in regards to how they would determine the age of consent of a character, the age of consent of someone when they're an adult, right? But that's my rule of thumb. I mean, my rule of thumb now is that anything... my rule of thumb now is that I don't want to date anyone that still has teen in their age, right? Even if they're 19. It's still a bit weird, you know? I want to talk to her again. All in all, I only saw her masturbating. Okay, don't need to bring it up. I haven't gotten confirmation of what she meant, or what she was thinking. I think you should know what she was thinking. So I think the first step here is for us to talk honestly. My mental state doesn't have much to do with my efficiency in doing physical labor, but it's more refreshing to do it with a clear head rather than when I'm lost in worries. The desk feels light, just like my heart. Before long, my work setting up the booths is done. After that, I help Noah with preparing the written materials for the visitors. Oh, that's what she was doing. She was writing the stuff. Like 2 years, I don't understand. Wouldn't someone old enough know? Then again, I didn't find out about sex until I was 17, so I guess I understand a little, but most states have Romeo and Juliet laws that cover scenarios where they're close in age, but one is younger than the age of consent. Yeah, I mean, Romeo and Juliet laws only apply when one of them, has a, grows up more. Like, what am I trying to say? It's the same. It's the same. Romeo and Juliet laws apply to my example of the senior dating the freshman, right? Where the senior graduates, turns 18. It's still weird that you're still dating the freshman turned sophomore. They'd be sophomore now, but because of Romeo and Juliet laws, it's still legal, right? And that's what my process is when it comes to age of consent, when it's under the age of 18, right? The Romeo and Juliet law is baked into the age of consent. But, I didn't have health class because of my autism. When they were already dating, just sex isn't basically... dating implies sex, yes. I don't need to specifically say when they have sex. Like, one is 17 and the other is 15. They won't prosecute just because the 17-year-old turns 18 as long as the prerequisites of the law are met. Exactly, right? Yeah. It's just information about the sports and cultural festivals the school holds, and its positives as an educational institution. So, this is the kind of thing they do during school tours? Nope. I just chose the school that was closest to home. My grades were acceptable enough to be admitted, so it was easy to convince Mom and Dad too. It wasn't a walk at the park, but I managed to make it in with some effort, and the school is within walking distance, so I can't complain. Though that's the same reason I was the first choice to call for urgent help. But thanks to that, Fumiko also helped me out a bit. Helped me out today. Am I supposed to follow a law if I don't understand it? I just don't get involved with dating then, in this example. Except that it's a lot... Dexter, it isn't that deep. Just don't date someone younger than 18. It's just that easy. Wow. You're telling me that I can date anyone older than 18? There's a lot of people a lot older than 18, So it's not that complicated. There are use cases where there are some specific examples of other laws needing to be applied so that, they aren't being unjustly jailed for something. But yeah, dating is scary to begin with, disregarding law stuff. Just people. Just women. I mean, never mind.